All right, Coach. Well, welcome to Humboldt State, and I'm sure after all those practices, this nice, warm, beautiful weather, you're ready to face an opponent rather than yourself. So how excited are you to get the season started?
I'm very excited. I mean, it's only been a couple of weeks for me, though, but the boys, I think, are kind of on edge right now. It's been a long year for them. They're very excited. It's just more about keeping them calm at this point than anything else because they're obviously very, very excited to get started.
How difficult is it to come into a new program, a team that didn't play last year, and kind of get acquainted with all your new players?
Well, it's always a challenge to come into a new program. Adding in the difficulties of last year make it even more so. But learning the new program, getting to know the players, trying to change the program in the direction that the new coaching staff wants to move it. All of those things are not unique, but it's made a little bit easier by the fact that CJ did a lot of great things here in preparing this program. There's a lot of great kids here. They did a lot of positive things from the program standpoint, and so it wasn't that difficult to pick up where CJ left off and try to move forward.
And you talked about moving forward, and what have you told the guys, and kind of like the outlook and what you expect of them moving forward into the season?
Just winning games. I think with all the stress that they've dealt with for the last year, they're very excited to get back out on the field, and I think it's not going to be too hard to point them in the direction of playing and being positive and doing what they came here to do, which is to compete on the field. And so it hasn't been that difficult from that standpoint because they are so excited about getting going.
First opponent, Academy of Art down in the Bay Area this week, and obviously a new season for you guys, a new season for them. Traditionally, what do you know about their squad?
I don't know a whole lot. They have a new coach. Their program has gone through some big changes this year as well. So it's hard to say with a new coach, what they're going to be like. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are wondering what we're going to be like this year as well, because we don't have the history when you start a new program. So we're in the same boat a little bit. They've played a few preseason games, so we've had an opportunity to get a little bit of information about them. We know that they're a strong program and that we're expecting a very difficult game. So there are very few easy games in this conference and in this state, and I don't expect anything less than a very difficult match from the Academy of Arts.
I don't know if you feel any pressure, but is it kind of maybe a little better to start on the road away from Humboldt and kind of get things underway?
For me, I don't think so, not either way. I think maybe from the kids' standpoint, it probably is a little less pressure at this point. I know that at some point they're going to be very excited to get back home and play in front of the local fans, but I think this gives them a little bit of buffer to kind of get some of the kinks worked out, being that it has been so long since they've actually got to participate. So I'm sure from their standpoint it's a little less stressful.
Any players that have had a pretty good camp and that we should watch for this season?
I think everybody's done very well. It's really hard to split hairs with some of the kids that we have out there. Like I said, CJ did a great job of putting this program together, and there's some really good talent there. I think our seniors have really stepped up and shown some leadership. Obviously, they have more invested in the rest of the kids, having been here for so long. But our senior captains, I guess you can't really look too far outside of them and see what Zach Hammond and Peter Darkea have done so far this year. They are great leaders, a lot of maturity. They bring on the field every day, very consistent. I think those two are going to be a huge part of whatever we do this year, and they are certainly setting the standard of what it means to compete for us this year.
Coach, another question: what kind of identity do you hope to, embark on these players?
We're trying to establish ourselves as a possession-oriented team, and so in as much as that's similar to what they have done before, so it is just basically trying to move forward from that a little bit. We're trying to move into the details of that and really establish a foundation that we can base how we play on. Whether we're playing against an opponent that forces us to do one thing or another thing, we can always hopefully fall back on that foundation and have the confidence to know that we can compete from that starting point. And I think that's been really the main focus of our preseason, is trying to establish that sense of confidence in a set foundation in the way we play, and really basing that in trying to play a possession-oriented game.
All right, we know Coach has got to run off to practice.